Hi, we are here for another edition of When History Meets Math, and this is Groundhog Day. Let's get into it. What is Groundhog Day? It involves watching a groundhog emerge from its burrow to see if it sees a shadow. If it does, winter is said to continue for another 6 weeks. If it doesn't, spring is said to arrive early. Now for the math. What is 6 cubed? What is 6 cubed? 6 cubed is written as 6 times 6 times 6, if you need a hint. And when you solve that, you get 216. The start. The first official Groundhog Day celebration took place on February 2nd, 1887, in Puxatawney, Pennsylvania, at Gobbler's Knob, and was the brainchild of local newspaper editor Clymer Fries. How many cube numbers are there in this date? 1887. There are three, 1, 8, and 8, because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and there's another 8. So I guess you could maybe say two numbers since it's 1 and 8 has two eights. How many prime numbers are there in this date? There is only one, the number 7. 1 is neither prime nor composite because it only has one factor. 7 has two factors, and 8 has more than two factors. So 8 is composite. What century is this date in? This kind of trips up students, so be careful. It's the 19th century. So if you say the 19th century, that includes all the 1800s. The 20th century would be all the 1900s. How accurate are the groundhogs? Well, studies by the National Climate Data Center and the Canadian Weather Service have yielded a dismal success rate of around 50% for Puxatawney Phil. So that's the same as flipping a coin and just guessing heads or tails. However, Staten Island Chuck, on the other hand, is reportedly accurate almost 80% of the time. And to the right there and to the bottom is a picture of Staten Island Chuck. Now for the math. How many times was Staten Island Chuck correct the last 25 years according to the above stat? You would just do zero point 0.8 times 25 and you get 20. How many times was Staten Island Chuck correct the last 70 years? You would work it the same way. Zero point 0.8 times 70, and that equals 56 times. He was right. So it looks like Staten Island Chuck is a little bit better weather predictor than Phil. The movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. The movie Groundhog Day was released in 1993, and it was about a bitter weatherman who has to relive the day over and over and over until he gets it right. And he relives this day over and over and over. How many years ago was the movie released? And I am doing this in 2025, so I will be basing my math on that. 2025 minus 1993 is 32. How many square numbers are in the date? 1993. There are three, 1, 9, and 9. Or you could argue two, 1, and 9. Because 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9. Is 1993 divisible by 9? There's a divisibility rule for this. No. When you add up the digits, you get 22, and 9 can't go into 22. So the divisibility rule for 9 is you add up all the digits of a number, and if it's divisible by 9, then 9 can go into it. If not, it's not. Some more Groundhog Day movie facts. When the movie was released, it made $105 million. It cost 14.6 million to make. That is quite the profit it made. What was the profit of the movie? How much did the movie make? 105 million minus 14.6 million is 90,400,000. And make sure you get all the zeros right in those two numbers. Some more Groundhog Day movie facts. How long was Phil, the main character, stuck repeating Groundhog Day? Well, it turns out the movie doesn't say it, but one explanation based on the facts of the movie puts it at 33 years and 350 days. And I like this figure, and there's all kinds of figures out there. You can get 10 years, 8 years. I like this figure because it's based on how long it takes him to master the different skills in life that he does in the movie. So, generally speaking, people have agreed or said that it takes 10,000 hours to be really good at something. And Phil masters many different skills in this movie. So they kind of tallied that up along with other various facts in the movie and came up with 33 years and 350 days. Here's a picture of him doing ice sculpturing and playing the piano. So those are two examples of his skills. How many total days was he stuck on Groundhog Day according to the above stat? How many total days? 33 years times 365 and then add that 350 and you get 12,395 days that he was stuck. Puxatawny Phil is just a nickname, believe it or not. He has a ridiculously long official name. His full moniker is Puxatawny Phil, seer of seers, sage of sages, procrastinator of procrastinators, and weather prophet extraordinaire. Most people have three names in their official name. Phil has five. Now for the math. What is 3 factorial? This is not 3 as in you scream it. It's factorial. If you don't know what factorial is, it's where you multiply 3 times all the numbers under it. So it'd be 3 times 2 times 1 equals 6. So if you don't know what factorial is, now you do, and now you can solve this one. What is 5 factorial? 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is 120. Feel free to practice on other numbers and you'll see that they get big really, really quick. Now, here's just a topic of discussion. Feel free to take a look at this and discuss it as a class or with your friend or whoever. What would you do if you were stuck in one place and every day was exactly the same and nothing that you did mattered? Bill Murray was the actor who was in this movie, and his character asked this question. And I think it's an interesting question of what would you do if you were stuck in one place every single day and there were no consequences, nothing mattered? Would you do bad stuff? Would you do evil stuff? Would you do what eventually Phil figured out as he made his life better each day? What would you do?